Okay.
So we talked about the Cavs playoff seeding. Let's talk about the playoff matchup now in specific. We'll talk about the Magic-Cavs matchup all week. We'll get more in depth, but initial thoughts on the actual on-court situation, Cavs versus Magic. Jay?
I have to tell you, I think it's going to be a close series. I think they split the regular season 2-2, right?
Yes.
I'm going to say Cavs in 6 or 7. I think that's where I'm going here. And Orlando's a tough team, though. Like I just feel like our calling card is not physicality.
No, it's
not. And we're gonna make it difficult on you.
Yo, it's so funny. Me and Jay both so Cleveland. We get so pissed off just to come back around and be like, yeah, they gonna win. we go through all of that.
I'm so Cleveland to a point. Don't ask me what I think is gonna happen in round 2. Because I'll be very.
Look, we'll be going off. So Jay, 259, who gonna win? Of course the Cavs gonna win. But I'm with you. So I've been looking at this series, right? And Orlando, to me, they remind me so much of the Cleveland Cavaliers last season. This is a very young, athletic, long, physical team, but they lack playoff experience, right? A team that kind of exceeded expectations for this year. As you like to say, Jason, they are a year ahead of whatever their plan is. And I think that, the physicality is something that worries me. The size is something that worries me. Mike, if you got that tweet that I sent to Tag Board, but there's a tweet I seen right before the show that shows the size discrepancy in the starting lineups between the Cavs and the Magic. That's something that worries me. But the fact that the Cavs have took that nasty L the way that they did last year, got that sour taste in their mouth, I believe in humility before honor. And I think the Cavs having that experience, despite what it went on in this regular season, I think that gives them an advantage over a very young, athletic, physical team. Got a pretty good head coach who already signed an extension. I just think this is one of those situations to where, the Cavs got the best player overall. And Donovan Mitchell, they have the experience. And I think that I think they're gonna show up. They show out. I got the Cavs in 6-2.
Okay, Jay.
It's gonna be a rock fight. Like this is this is not gonna be pleasing to the eye. Beauty basketball.
They're
this
gonna
is
muck it up.
Oh, this is two teams, both in the top 10 defensively. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a defensive series. Cavs are gonna have to make shots. It's a lot of what I said last year about the Knicks. And now they have the shooting component that they did not have last year.
Right.
So they got to make shots. Whatever's below NBA TV is where these, you're going to have to look for these games on, where do they put the NCAA tournament games? Like Hulu.
True TV.
Yeah, True TV.
Oh.
This is a True TV matchup right here. So go to
That's
True
also
TV.
like the Crime Network.
They may play this at 9 a.m. on Saturday. Tell me.
Tape delay like the 70s.
Yes, tape
the
delay.
finals used to be on tape delay of the NBA. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all are so mean. Y'all are so mean.
I'm serious, though.
Outside of Mitchell, the star power is lacking. And the style of basketball is, I agree with you.
Yeah.
If you like up and down, a lot of scoring, this isn't for you.
No, Magic do have a former number 1 overall pick, pretty good player. Paulo
Banchero's a stud.
Yeah,
he
Paulo
can
Banchero.
play.
And the Cavs don't do well against height, against
Yeah,
size.
there will be very limited spacing.
We saw that last year in the Knicks series. The Knicks pushed him around. We've seen that. I said the Bulls put Andre Drummond in the starting lineup because the scouting report against the Cavs is you can push these guys. They're big, but you can push them around.
26 rebounds later.
Yeah. So there is some concern there. I mean, Mike and I did the podcast last week, and Mike's like, I don't want any part of the Magic.
Pablo is one of my favorite players, man. That dude look like this rapper named Yellow Beezy. Look him up after the show. But we got some we got something for Pablo though. I think and Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, man, but it seems like every time I've seen the Cavs play or Orlando Magic, Isaac Okoro seems to be able to play very well against him defensively. Another thing with Orlando, Jalen Suggs is one of the better defensive guards in the NBA. So a hobbled Donovan Mitchell matched up against him worries me a little bit. I think their backcourt defensively is one of the best overall in the NBA. There are things there that worry me, but the Cavs are a better three-point shooting team, and the Cavs seem to I think the Cavs average 28 assists per game this season. Orlando was bottom third, 24.4. So if the Cavs can, get the ball movement going, players are hitting shots and they hitting the threes, I think that's where the Cavs, another area outside of just experience, where the Cavs have the advantage at.
Defense and toughness in the play. I love both in the playoffs. I think you need both to make deep runs. I do think the Cavs have the defensive element. They lack the toughness, and we'll see. They said all the right things after the game yesterday, about we're going to be tough, we're going to take it to them. Let's see.
One thing about it, the Magic are going to hear all week. They wanted to play you guys because if I'm their coach, if I'm Jamal Mosley, who is a Cavs former assistant who knows this franchise very well, Jamal's a great guy. I'm very happy for his success.
Good.
He was in the running here for the job a few years ago. And I'm sure he's going to be telling them all week. Those guys are going to be telling them all week, they wanted you. They wanted you. So
and his motivation is they didn't want me.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We'll see. They had a chance.
They had a chance. He was here under Byron
Mikey, what
Scott,
do you have?
Mike Brown.
I want to make one thing very clear.
Uh-oh.
The Cavs have the best player in the series in Donovan Mitchell.
No question.
They have a more talented roster top to bottom.
Yep.
They have more playoff experience and home court advantage.
But
there are no excuses not to win the series. I'm serious. No excuses.
I agree, but
we knew that going into it, and it could happen. It's going to be a rock fight. Jared Allen in his post-game interviews yesterday said it's going to be a fight to 85. I went through and watched Orlando's game against Milwaukee yesterday. Jalen Suggs, if you're unfamiliar with how much of a dog he is defensively, you're going to learn very quickly.
Yeah.
He made Dame Lillard look like he was 65 years old last night.
Well, he is 62.
He held him to 2 of 14 from the floor. 2 of 14. That's a guy who, without Giannis in the lineup, has been taking over 25 shots a game.
Yeah.
Held him to 14 shot attempts, only made 2 of them. Him against Mitchell is going to be a hell of a matchup. Banchero is an absolute monster. And without Dean Wade, they don't have a ton of size on the wings to match up with Paolo, who's a legit 6'10 guy with some strength. It's going to be a rock fight. But at the end of the day, when you strip this down to the bare minimum, the Cavs have the best player, a better roster, more playoff experience, and home court advantage. If you check the box in all 4 of those categories, I will hear no excuses. If it doesn't go in the Cleveland Cavaliers' favor and they're not playing Boston or whoever in round 2, heads got to roll.
So your pick is Cavs in.
I will pick the Cavs to win. I have not determined how many games yet.
Okay, that's fair. You can get back to us on that.
Yeah, we'll do our official predictions on Friday. But
I would say the same thing. I didn't think the Cavs were going to beat the Knicks last year, but I do think that the Cavs win this series. And that's a great point. We just crushed them for 35 minutes for setting this up, and now we're all.
And all 3 of us Cavs and 6.
They're going to win.
And you know what? Like in this, like the ultimate question before you answer smart or chicken shit, to me, you have to. Well, what is your objective? And anybody that says this was smart, they're okay with the team objective being win one series, and that's a win.
The objective,
and my objective is no. You didn't play this season. You didn't make the moves you made. You don't have Donovan Mitchell on here to win a series. You are a team that has aspirations to win a championship. You're a team that went 18-2 in a 20-game stretch with the largest margin of victory, average margin of victory, over any team that's ever played and called themselves the Cavaliers, including all of LeBron's teams. That's quite an accomplishment. This is a good team. This isn't a win one series and we're good team. So my objective is win it all. That's the objective.
Yeah, see, when I looked at it and when I said that, I didn't look at it as, okay, the Cavs just go win one series and then that's it. I just looked at it as like, you want to put yourself in the best position possible to get the most favorable matchup in the first round. And if you can hit the ground running, then you know what? Let everything else take care of itself. Okay. Because you really can't control who your opponent is in round 2. We might be looking ahead, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to be Boston. But Boston still got to make sure that they take care of their business too.
No, that's a fact.
So for the Cavs, for me, I looked at it like, okay, this is the matchup that they look at as the most favorable matchup for them. Let's get in the playoffs. Let's get this round 1 win, and then take it from there and see what happens.
The objective, there's some self-preservation going on. There's people trying to protect their jobs.
And I hate that part of it.
And number 2, the bigger objective, get Donovan Mitchell to sign an extension. That's the objective of this postseason. They're not going to win a championship this year. I got news for you. They're not winning a title. So the objective is, how do we get Donovan Mitchell to sign to stay here?
Okay.
Let's talk some Guardians, guys, and we'll do that in